Hi everyone, Leon here. Welcome back to my channel, the channel that inspires learning. I've got a question for you today. How long do you think we take to build a habit? 21 days? 90 days? Really? I've got this friend who shared with me before this interesting spelling of habit. It's things we do a bit at a time over a period of time, and that becomes our habit. Interesting, isn't it? And habits are an important part of what shapes our lives and how we live it. The book Atomic Habits by James Clear tells us how tiny changes can have remarkable results and how we build good habits and break bad ones. Do you know if a plane flying from Los Angeles to New York City were to change its heading just 3.5 degrees south, it will end up in Washington DC instead of New York City? An insignificant change results in the destination hundreds of miles apart from each other. And similarly, a slight change in your daily habits compounded over time will result in a very different destination in your life. There's a mathematical analogy in the book that shows us how getting 1% better each day over a period of a year can bring us to a 37 times better self, while a 1% decrease in what we do will bring us to nearly zero. While some of you may say that it's not an accurate comparison and that it's chicken soup for the soul, but I personally believe that there's truth in it. We may not be 37 times better than we are, because different people, different growth. But the process of getting there will definitely have shaped our lives and made it different from where we were when we first started. As James put it, tiny habits are part of a larger system, and when they are built on top of each other over time, they will lead to remarkable results. And that is one of the main themes of Atomic Habits. According to James, there are 3 layers of change: outcome, process, and identity change. He illustrates this with a diagram of 3 circles. Outcome-based habits focus first on the results you want, what you do to get them, and then becoming that person. Whereas identity-based habits focus first on who you want to be, and then what you do to change, and finally getting the results. A simple example to illustrate between the two is this. Imagine 2 persons wanting to quit smoking. When offered a cigarette, the person who is outcome-based will say no thanks and trying to quit smoking, while the person who is identity-based will say no thanks, I am not a smoker. You notice the small difference in sentence here, but the belief that is held behind that sentence is the identity the person believes he is. And the more pride he has in that identity, the more motivated he is to behave in a way that's congruent to his identity. James shared that studies tells us habits can be broken into 4 simple steps. First, the cue; second, craving; third, response; and fourth, the reward. It can be referred to as the habit loop. First, the cue. It could be something we see, hear, smell, and so on that triggers us to have a craving, which is the second step. This craving will lead to the third step, which is a response from us to do certain things that will reward us by satisfying our craving, and that is the fourth step. Understanding this, James shared with us a simple framework called the 4 laws of behavior change, which provides us with a simple set of rules to follow to create good habits and break bad ones. As you can see, each of the 4 laws correspond to each of the steps in the habit loop. The first law for creating a good habit is to make it obvious. That's because the first step in the habit loop is the cue, and if this cue is obvious, it will start the loop. One of the ways to make it obvious is to state the date and time where the habit must occur. This is called implementation intention. An example would be like, I will meditate for 5 minutes at 7 a.m. in my bedroom. Another way is to use habit stacking. Instead of pairing your desired habit to a time and location, you pair it to another one of your habits. For example, after brushing my teeth, which is your current habit, I will meditate for 5 minutes, which is your desired habit. Last but not least is to make the cue a big part of your environment. Design and create your environment so that it allows you and helps you in what you want to achieve. For example, if you want to learn a guitar, okay, place the guitar right in the middle of the living room and not in your closet, so you can be reminded of it every time you go into the living room. The second law is to make it attractive. One of the ways to make it attractive is to bundle what you need to do with what you want to do. For example, if you want to watch Netflix and you know you need to exercise, well, you can bundle them together. Like, you can tell yourself that I can only watch Netflix when I'm on the treadmill exercising. Another way is to join a culture where our desired behavior is a norm, because this builds on our human instinct to belong. For example, the chances of us picking up a new language will be to be immersed in the environment where people speak it, right? The third law is make it easy. Complexity is the enemy of execution. And by making it easy, the chance of us doing it will be increased and the formation of this habit will be more automatic. One of the ways to make it easy is to break down your desired habit into smaller chunks of things that can be done within 2 minutes. Okay, for example, reading. Okay, take 2 minutes of your time to read every day. And by, you'll get to a point where you will want to read more. Therefore, to answer the question at the start of the video of how long does it take to form a habit, it is not the duration. It is more of the frequency that determines. The fourth law is to make it satisfying. By doing so, we are increasing the chances of this habit being repeated. And one of the ways that we can do it is by visually tracking our habits. For example, we can track our habits visually through an app or a tick on the calendar when our habits are done. When we see all those ticks on the calendar, wow, we see progress. That could be very satisfying and motivates us to continue. I've just shared with you the 4 laws to create a good habit. If you want to break a bad habit, just do the opposite. Okay, make it invisible, make it unattractive, make it difficult to do, and make it unsatisfying. These are the learnings I've got from Atomic Habits. And if you want a 1-page PDF summary of my learning on this book, please click the link below to get your free copy. If you want to gain useful learning and empower your life, hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell to be notified of my weekly learnings. I thank you for watching, wish you well, and see you in the next video. Do check out these other books I've reviewed. I hope they will bring more value to you and inspire you to bring out your best potential. Hit the subscribe button and be part of a journey to inspire learning. Beyond here, wishing you well and see you in the next video.